And then we have Bill Johnson, someone who is allied with not only the personhood movement, but also the Tea Party movement. He's got multiple Tea Party endorsements. In fact, when one of the other candidates tried to claim a Tea Party of Kentucky endorsement, Bill Johnson's supporters came back and said, you know what, actually, we're members of the Tea Party, we've got our Tea Party group over here, and we don't support that candidate, we're supporting Bill Johnson. So, the point I'm trying to make is this, that we look at, America's Independent Party is going to look at anybody who wants to run for office and say, what are your principles? What are your foundational beliefs? And if we can come to some common ground, then we'll support you. If we can't, God bless and good luck. Now, there are a lot of people who have in the past not wanted to leave the Republican Party. They see the two-party system the way it is, and they say, you know what, we've got to save the Republican Party. And that's fine. They can do that if they want to. Those of us who've left the Republican Party are saying, you know what, we've given up. We've thrown up the white flag. The Republican Party is hopeless, and we're not going to pursue that option any longer. So we do have candidates, like I said, Bill Johnson and others around the country who are running as Republicans. That's their best option. We support them. But we have independent candidates, Melissa Paley-Hill here in Texas, and others around the nation. We have independent candidates in New Jersey and Maryland and places like that where we're supporting them in their run to change the direction of this nation. Now, I'm going to take a moment and just talk about personhood. I don't know what you all know or don't know about personhood, but basically personhood, I think I alluded to it a minute ago, it's looking at the whole life, saying we have a pre-born child and we have a soon-to-be dying older person and everyone in between. We have people who are suffering with various ailments throughout their lives. Maybe they cannot speak for themselves. Maybe they cannot move around and interact with you and I the way we would consider normal people. But they're still human. The thing that ties them and us is our basic humanity. And the fact of the matter is that without the support of that humanity, that basic underlying humanity, all the other rights that we have in our Constitution, in our Declaration of Independence, cannot be enforced. I mentioned a minute ago that if we don't have you and I the life that gives us the opportunity to be here, we cannot support other rights. The right to keep and bear arms, that is a fundamental right that we all support. But without life, you cannot have the opportunity to go and fight for your right, to protect your property, or protect your family. You cannot fight to defend yourself if you don't have that life in the first place. Now, basically when you look at the Constitution and you look at the right to life, a lot of people say, well, you know what, Andy, maybe that right to life, where do you find that in the Constitution? So let me just read really briefly where it says here. I already mentioned the posterity in the preamble of the Constitution, but in the 14th Amendment, we talk about the ability to, let me actually quote here, we cannot deny any person within jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. And the point of personhood is saying, look, all men are created equal. We have to allow all people the opportunity to live the life that God has given them. If there can be no liberty and justice for all, if selected classes of human beings are denied their basic rights. That's the point I think we're trying to make. Now, is personhood the only thing that America's Independent Party is focused on? Absolutely not. We're focused on third-party efforts and trying to get the two-party system broken up. We look at other countries around the world and we see that so many countries have the option of numerous political parties, the option to support whomever aligns with their political beliefs, their basic human beliefs, the way they want to. And here in the United States, we don't have that. We've got a duopoly. We've got people that basically are looking for their own power, their own aggrandizement. They're trying to basically take care of themselves and themselves only. They don't pass laws that are applying to them. They pass laws that apply to you and me. They don't pass taxes that apply to them. They pass taxes that apply to you and me. Then they go out and they say, well, you know what? You can have that money, but when we feel like it, we'll take some more of it. And we can't honestly say that we can ever get back to our basic foundational rights, our basic foundational foundation of humanity, until we say, guess what? It applies to all of us. Whether you're a politician or not, everyone has the same rights. So I mentioned the right to life, and I've mentioned the idea of multiple parties. America's Independent Party also supports basically our right as a nation to defend itself. We look at our military and we say, we want a strong military. We're not going to go around and try to meddle with the whole world. But if we don't have a strong military, we cannot defend ourselves as a nation. At the moment, we have millions of people pouring across our border, some of whom want to be here for the benefits, some of whom want to be here because their family is already here, but not all of them are following the laws that we have in place here in America. In fact, the vast majority are not. And America's Independent Party says, look, we cannot defend ourselves as a nation until we focus on our own borders first. If we don't have a strong ability to say, look, this is our border, and you can't enter unless we allow you to enter, then how can we honestly say that we're pursuing potential terrorists when they can walk across the border just as easily as anybody else can? How can we say that we're protecting our people in America with all of these rules on how to board an airline? Shoot, we had another incident just the other day right here in Texas. You know, it's one of these things where they can't protect us from everything. There's no way. But they're not allowing us to protect ourselves in the way we best see fit either. So America's Independence Party definitely also supports the idea of legal immigration, not illegal immigration.